I'm Miss Jean. Now, are you ready for another mini adventure in Discovery Mountain? Well, I hope so, because today's adventure has some of my favorite things: butterflies, a rainy day, and a mystery. Now, do you know anyone in Discovery Mountain who's good at solving mysteries? Oh, yes, Detective Lana. Well, but today Lana is going to need a little help from an expert. Let's join Lana at her friend Gracie's house and see how the adventure unfolds.
I'm so glad there's no school today, Lana. We finally have time to try out my new candle making kit.
That sounds like fun.
The kit has everything we need to make a dozen beeswax candles. There are 4 different colors of wax and ideas for decorating the candles.
Do you think I could make a vanilla-scented candle for my mom?
Of course.
Hey, do you hear that?
It started raining.
I love rainy days. I like to curl up on the couch with a good book and listen to the rain while I read.
Me too. But you know what I like even better?
What?
Going for a walk in the rain. And jumping in puddles. Come on, let's go outside. We can work on the candles later. We have plenty of time.
There's just one problem. I didn't bring my rain boots.
No problem. You're a little smaller than I am, so I'm sure you'd fit in my old pair. Let's see. Here they are. Good thing I hadn't cleaned out my closet and thrown them away yet.
Let me just try them on. You're right. They fit just fine.
Great. Let's get our coats and get going. Race to the sidewalk.
The girls ran outside and twirled in the gentle rain, turning up their faces and laughing as drops hit their cheeks. They stomped through several puddles and were having a great time enjoying God's gift of rain when something caught Gracie's eye.
Hey, Lana, look over there.
Where?
Over there, on that bush at the end of Mrs. Lee's driveway. It's a brown moth, but I think it's the prettiest one I've ever seen.
That's not a moth. It's a butterfly.
A butterfly? How do you know?
My dad has a butterfly book, and I love to look at all the pictures in it. I'm pretty sure this is a common buckeye.
Common buckeye? How can you tell?
You can tell by the circles on its wings that look like eyes.
You're right. They do look like eyes. You know everything, Lana.
I wish. I just like to read a lot, that's all. Well, that and I have a good memory.
And you notice things that other people might not notice, which is why everyone calls you Detective Lana. So, Detective Lana, I have a question.
What's that?
Well, it's raining, right?
Well, that's very observant, Gracie. What was your first clue?
Okay. I'm serious here. We've been having fun running through the rain, right?
Right.
And part of the fun is how the raindrops tickle our cheeks, right?
Right.
Now, look at that butterfly. Look how the light seems to almost shine through its wings.
I know. Its wings seem as thin as crepe paper.
So here's my question. Why don't raindrops tear up a butterfly's wings?
Well, because, the truth is I don't really know.
You don't know? You mean Detective Lana doesn't have a clue?
Well, I told you I don't know everything. But a good detective does know where to find the answers. So let's go.
Where? To your house to look for the answer in your dad's butterfly book?
Even better. We're going to ask a true expert. Come on.
So, Detective Lana doesn't have a clue why raindrops don't tear holes in a butterfly's wing. Do you? Well, I don't think that I've ever thought of that question before, but Lana knows someone who might have the answer. Where do you think the girls are going? Who is the expert they're going to see? Well, the girls took off up the street in a hurry, and they ran several blocks, although they slowed down once or twice when they saw a particularly irresistible puddle that they just had to jump in. Well, finally, they arrived at the expert's house.
Where are we anyway? Whose house is this?
Mrs. Torres lives here. If anyone can help us solve the mystery, she can.
Lana, Gracie, what brings you girls here? And in the rain, no less.
We don't mind the rain, Mrs. Torres.
We like playing in it, especially jumping in puddles.
I can remember liking to do that when I was your age. But I'm sure you didn't come all this way just to tell me you like jumping in puddles.
No, we came to ask you to help us solve a mystery.
Ooh, a mystery?
Yes, we saw a butterfly in Mrs. Lee's yard.
A common buckeye.
And I asked Detective Lana a question she couldn't answer.
Really? What was your question?
When raindrops hit our skin, they don't hurt or anything. But a butterfly's wings are so thin, you'd think a drop of rain would go right through them. So why don't raindrops tear holes in butterflies' wings?
That's an excellent question, Gracie. On average, raindrops fall at about 20 miles an hour.
20 miles an hour?
Yes, raindrops are so small they don't hurt us. But if we were the size of butterflies, it would be like bowling balls falling from the sky.
Raindrops the size of bowling balls? How can butterflies survive a rainstorm?
If you follow me to my study, I think I can show you.
I knew we came to the right place.
Here it is.
It's beautiful.
It's a butterfly wing that's been preserved under a piece of glass. Now I'm going to put it under my microscope and let you have a look. Why don't you go first, Gracie? What do you see?
That's amazing. The wing isn't smooth like paper. It's covered with rough bumps.
Exactly. God designed butterfly wings so when a drop of water hits, those little bumps shatter the raindrop into dozens of tiny droplets. Too tiny to do any damage. And that's not all.
It isn't?
If we could zoom in even closer to the nanoscopic level, we'd find wax structures that make the wings water resistant. The rain droplets bounce right off them instead of going straight through them or soaking into the wings.
Like the stuff my dad puts on his hiking boots so the rain runs right off and doesn't soak in.
That's right, Lana. God gave butterflies built-in rain repellent so their wings stay dry and whole, and the butterflies stay warm and are still able to fly. Now, do you girls have any other questions?
Yes. Would you like to come for a walk in the rain with us?
Yes, come with us. There's a great puddle right in front of your house that we can jump in.
Me? I can't go jumping in puddles.
Why not? You said you used to like doing it when you were a girl, and I happened to notice a pair of rain boots by your door.
Well, Detective Lana, you really are observant, aren't you? I guess I don't have any excuse not to go with you.
Rain puddles, here we come.
If we're lucky, maybe we'll see more of God's rain-repellent butterflies.
Well, don't you wish that you could go out right now and stomp through some rain puddles? Well, I know I do. And I'd like to watch a butterfly flutter through my yard in the rain and to know that it doesn't have to be afraid because God designed its wings to shatter raindrops and to repel them. Now, you know, the Bible says that knowledge of God can be found in understanding plants and animals. In the first chapter of Romans, in verse 19 and verse 20, it says this, "For what can be known about God is plain to them, because God has shown it to them. Ever since the creation of the world, His eternal power and divine nature, invisible though they are, have been understood and seen through the things He has made." Well, in today's adventure, Lana and Gracie learned a lot about butterfly wings. But what does that teach us about God? Do you know what I learned? That God rain-proofed butterfly wings before the first raindrop ever fell. You know, the Garden of Eden was watered by mist and dew. There wasn't any rain. But God knew that if sin entered His perfect world, then His beautiful, delicate butterflies would need a way to survive a rainstorm. And God loved the butterflies so much that He planned what they might need even before they needed it. And so this week, you can exercise your faith by trusting that the same God who takes care of the needs of tiny, fragile little butterflies will also take care of all your needs. I'm Miss Jean, and you've been listening to a mini adventure in Discovery Mountain, where the air is clear enough to hear your imagination, and where every day is an exercise in faith. Visit us at discoverymountain.com, where you can learn more about your favorite characters and listen to full episodes on demand. The Butterfly Expert was written by Janice Nelson.